Hi, everybody. Good morning. It is the 13th of April, Sunday, the 13th of April. I hope everyone can hear me. The audio is okay, yeah? We're going to continue today with the, was it ninth or 10th stream? I hope it's working okay. If anybody can tell me the audio is all right, we're going to jump into the game. The smell of revolution is in the air, everyone. What happened the previous stream? We decided to go in the direction of the Lotless, a kind of a revolutionary underground, yeah, run by Sophia, a witch. But she seems to like me, so that's kind of important. Is the audio okay? Give me 1 second. I'm very worried about this. Let me just do something. All right, good. Let's get that going. So we're going to go into it today. Let me start. My name is Brian. This is Class A Plus English. It's a very small YouTube channel. I'm playing story-driven games. I'm an English teacher living in Spain, and I thought it might be a good idea to, play some games, explain vocabulary, etc. So we're going to go into it today. I am Sir Brante, yeah? I'm 17 at the moment. Let's have a look. It's the year 1136, winter, the trial of the 50. This is where we finished the previous day. Okay? Okay, great. We have lived another year in the capital. Eterna has been shaken by what is now known as the trial of the 50. 50 people stand trial at once, all prominent members of several political circles. They are accused of treason and conspiracy against the crown. Okay, the game is getting a bit complicated at this point, so really, if this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. But really, I recommend going back and watching previous streams to get the backstory, of the game. My cat, of course, has just woken up because she does this when I start streaming and demanding to go out. So I'm going to open the window for her for a few minutes, let her look at all the winos in the plaza. What else? Okay, so there is political turmoil happening in this medieval fantasy world that we are a part of. So there's a trial of 50 people. The accused spoke in favor of reducing the power of the nobles and granting more rights to the common estate. There was no mention of rebellion, yet those words alone were enough to indict them. Okay, they're getting prosecuted. One thing in this game is that it's a fantasy game. You can die 3 times before your final true death, okay? So you kind of die and you get resurrected. But I think if you get executed, it's permanent. Hang on, I just want to change the settings for a second. Where's settings? I'll turn up a little bit of music today for a Sunday. And I want to go full screen. How do I go full screen? Oh. Doesn't seem I can. Okay. All right. So there was no mention of rebellion, but that was enough. Just even mentioning the fact that common people should have rights has been enough to put them in front of a judge. So they call them lots in the game, but it's basically classes of people, right? You have the commoners, the common people, the lowest, the workers, the drone bees. Then you have the clergy, the priests, the religious people. Then you have the nobles, who are the rich. And then you have the Arcanians, who have blue skin. Yeah, they're not humans. And they are they're the top dogs, I think, in the game. And it finally came to me. I had an epiphany, like Sir Brante, that obviously the blue skin represents blue blood. It represents the royalty chosen by God, etc. Oh, and the gods are twins in this game as well. Let's start that again. Let's get cracking. Every session of the trial is open to the public. It is a show of power made to discourage people from forming such circles ever again. Encourage discourage. Okay, so they're trying to crack down on this this anarchy that the common folk are trying to promote. You know, this idea that the common people have rights. Crazy. I attended one of these sessions. The 50 faced their verdict, forced labour in the mines of Magra and Illyria for regular members and true death for their leaders, 6 men and 1 woman. Their public execution takes place in the central square of Eterna. So it's a true death. They don't resurrect. They don't come back. You remember the woman. Her name was Annie Steeran. She made a speech before her execution. A young woman, not too tall, her face almost plain, with long bangs over her eyes. She looks calm, even at this moment. Okay, her face almost plain, so she's not the most beautiful woman in the world. She's not Helen of Troy. Her face did not set 1,000 ships sailing, or whatever that phrase was. You cannot believe she's about to leave this world forever. Annie Siren takes a look around before she speaks. Her voice is quiet, but you are close enough to hear every single word. She is happy to give her lives, that is correct, fighting for the rights of the people. Sorry, my cat is annoying me. She says she is happy to give her lives fighting for the rights of the people. Her cause will never die, Annie claims. Others like her will continue their work in hiding, for their cause is right and just. Okay. She is dragged away to the others. They put a sack over her head and tighten a noose around her neck. A hand yanks on the lever and the 7 dangle in the air. Their feet tremble at first, then grow still. They have been hung. There are gasps and cries of discontent in the crowd. Okay, so this is like a warning to everybody. Stop this traitorous talk, yeah, or you will end up like the 50. All right, in 1136, winter, the trial of the 50. Power, struggle for power, order is going up, discontent. Okay, the people aren't happy. Now, these are my crowd here, the Lotless. We are without class. We are the revolutionary group. But it's obviously very secret. In the previous stream, we went around the bars and taverns recruiting people for Sophia. Now, Sophia's a witch. We watched her burn some people alive previously, but she hasn't killed anyone for a while, but she's a bit scary, yeah? The ranks of the Lotless are growing steadily now. It's getting harder and harder to breathe in your makeshift meeting hall. People are coming from all across Eterna. Hang on, my cat's just gone, so I can close the window. Alright, so it's getting really popular. Most of them are commoners, labourers, craftsmen, eager students, and all of them feel that the social order based on the lots is out of date. The class system is out of date, everybody. Now, what I would be worried about here is as it gets bigger, there's more chance of infiltration. Yeah, snitches, grasses, informants. That's what I would be worried about. They are always discussing this, both at the major meetings and one-on-one. How can you change society with taking up arms? Change must come through the barrel of a gun, everyone. How can you defend those who suffer at the nobles' hands? You write several articles for a newspaper that is sympathetic to your cause. You cover the pages of the Imperial Sunrise with freedom-loving ideas. But before your words reach the printed page, you let Sophia read them. Yeah, Sophia's kind of like a bit of a cult leader, isn't she? I like your articles. They really sting. They burn with genuine fervor and true audacity. And most importantly, you've been calling for action more and more. Our cause is just, and I know it well, but your words light a fire in men's hearts. They do bring hope for change. I'd never be able to do this without you, Brante. Thank you. Okay, there she is. There's Sophia. My former neighbor. She was in the service of the Archnean Dorius Utan before fleeing Anizut, so I helped her escape. In the capital, she became a rebel and founded the secret society of the Lotless. She is leading a fight against the Empire's unjust order. So it's not fair, basically. But she's quite scary. She has a tendency to burn people alive. She's a witch, basically. You're in trouble when her eyes go yellow. That's basically all I'll say. Okay, so you can see here there's the meetings down dark alleyways, hidden behind closed doors, planning and plotting. It's time for another meeting of the Lotless. Sophia calms the crowd down before she begins. Here she is. Look. My friends, it is time for us to act. We are strong. We are united. We are many. Our cause is just. Her words are met with cries of support, and your voice joins them. Yay! Sophia smiles, but there is still a hard, controlled edge in her eyes. Yeah, watch out for the eyes. 1 month from now, the Empire will hold the ritual of purification in St. Ignatius Square. Mages and witches who refuse to repent and wear collars will be murdered in a public execution. The church is preparing carefully for this. But these witches never asked for this. They were branded at birth. Our lot is to suffer, but theirs is something far worse. I can smell the violence, everybody. I can smell the violence. The Inquisition's collar takes away everything. Your family, your estate, your free, your will. Okay, that's a mistake. As far as I know, this game has been translated from Russian. Somebody messaged me about this. They were asking me about how was the translation. I think I found like 3 or 4 kind of typos, yeah, but very small ones. I think this is another one, yeah. So this should be your freedom, your will. A mage becomes a weapon for the Inquisition. They are stripped of their lot and to place in this world. Mages are the true Lotless. A witch's collar is the worst prison of all. We must set them free. Their freedom will mark the beginning of freedom for the entire Empire. Good, fantastic voice acting here by me. Thank you very much. All right, somebody's listening in the shower. Okay, well, wherever you're comfortable, you know, I'm not one to judge. The cries of approval die down, replaced by a growing mumble of confusion. Nobody in the room wants to openly defy the Inquisition, to go against the clergy's Inquisition. Now, I live in Spain. Spain, of course, has a strong and rich history in Inquisitions, let's say. Sophia raises her hand, her eyes glinting in the reflected golden candlelight. The room falls silent. We are not going to wage war against the Inquisition. What we are going to do is hold a march to support the mages. This will be our statement. We will seek the support of Patriarch Junius Diamant. He says that those who wield magic have the same rights as anyone else in the Empire. He seeks to give mages their freedom, the freedom to find their own way to the twins. So the twins are the gods. There's like 2 twin gods that everybody worships, yeah? And there's a kind of a divide in the church at the moment, which is why we're seeing people getting executed. We are going to show the Patriarch that we have heard his words and are ready to openly heed his call. We are ready. So she wants a peaceful march, yeah? Interesting. I am a mage myself. He took off my collar and allowed me to choose my own path. I am going to give every mage and witch the same chance. Can you hear the music? I'm playing music. Can you hear it? But sometimes when I look back on the streams, you can't hear the music. Katie, nobody ever chooses to be born with magic, but mages have the right to choose to abandon their power and follow the twins. Our cause is just. We keep saying this word, don't we? It's fair. Sophia lets the others speak their mind. Some fully support the march. Others hesitate, unsure what to do. Dangerous. Dangerous. I would not oppose Sophia. There is also a small group of people who reject the idea outright. Magic is evil, they say. Witches are dangerous. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Supporting witches means defying the twins. I feel some yellow eyes coming, everybody. Here we go. Yep. Sophia leans over them, angry sparks dance in her eyes. There's gonna be a burning. I am a witch, and yet you followed me. You chose to trust me. There's no time left for doubt. If you are not ready to walk this road, it would be best for you to leave the Lotless right away. Yeah, they're not going to make it home tonight, are they? Several people leave the hall, some of them ashamed, others grim, very serious. They all get a parting message from Sophia. Her cry rings through the basement and out onto the street. You will tell them nothing. Okay, no snitching. Everyone else grows quiet. This is the first time anyone has seen the leader of the Lotless shout like that. Oh yeah, here we go. She drops back into her chair and asks everyone, except for you and 3 others, to leave. You know these 3 Lotless. Sophia uses them for special assignments. You get ready to hear what she has to say. I think there's going to be an assassination. She's pointing her finger. The goal of our march is to get Junius Diamant's attention. We need his patronage. It is essential that he hear about us and support our movement. Without his aid and influence, our fight is doomed. It's not going to go anywhere. My cat is staring at me now. I have a black cat and she's eyeballing me, which is making me nervous. Whisper, 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 whisper. With that, Sophia starts giving orders. She sends a young man to get collars, tells a lively girl to gather people and prepare banners, and instructs a lean Legion soldier to plan out the shortest route and the best location to begin the march. Then she dismisses them. It's only the 2 of you now. So I'm really in with Sophia. I did help her escape, though. The basement room you use as a meeting hall grows empty and quiet, and you finally notice how tiny and exhausted Sophia looks. Dark rings encircle her eyes, and her skin is grey as parchment. She works so hard for your sake. After a moment of quiet, she speaks to you about the Imperial Legion. I don't want to scare the others too soon, but I think you know what I'm going to say. If they have trained legionnaires guarding the square instead of prefecture gendarmes, the soldiers won't stand on ceremony. Some people might die during this march. There's going to be violence. You spent half the night planning escape routes in case you have to run for your lives. By the time the plan is finally ready, both of you are on the verge of nodding off, to fall asleep, yeah? Nod off. I hope you're not nodding off as you watch this, everyone. I hope you're fully entranced by the story, yeah? There is one more thing Sophia wants to discuss, however. Assassination? Many people have joined the Lotless over the past few weeks, but we still don't have enough members. Ah, God damn it. I thought we were going to do our own inquisition on the members. We need to attract other people on the streets in order to make our march stronger. People need to see that we aren't just misfits. A misfit, you know, you're not part of society, you know, you're kind of You you fell through the net. Sophia has two ideas for attracting more people to the march, but you only have enough time to implement one of them. How about some card tricks, some witchy card tricks? That would attract me. Some magic. You could call upon the commoners who support the doctrine of Patriarch Photis to join the march. Plenty of people in Eterna had to suffer at the hands of the Inquisition back when the new faith first emerged. Those who rejected the lots were treated like heretics and punished accordingly. So there's a kind of a split going on in the religious world here. Yeah, there's the kind of traditional conservative people who believe that the lots, the classes are like the word of the twins, this is what they want. And then there's a new kind of breakaway branch. It's kind of like the Reformation, I suppose, Martin Luther and stuff, and they're more kind of people are equal, so really they do fit in with the Lotless. Alternatively, you could seek support from the clergy and the nobles. Even among them, many have relatives and friends who have suffered at the hands of the Inquisition. So we have two choices, everybody. Sophia looks up from her papers. The circles around her eyes are even darker now. She's barely reacting to the world around her. She is but a shadow of the confident young leader of the Lotless you saw speak at the meeting. She lights her pipe and throws herself back into her chair, her eyes half-lidded, looking utterly exhausted. Her eyelids, so she's nodding off, she's falling asleep, she's exhausted. I think in the last stream I introduced the word knackered. Yeah, to be knackered. I'm absolutely knackered, yeah? Exhausted. It seems this decision is yours. Okay, we have three choices, everybody. We can mobilize the commoners. You agree to mobilize the lowborn estate, and my manipulation skills will go up. Mobilize the nobles and the clergy. You decide to mobilize nobles and priests who have suffered at the hands of the Inquisition. You show Sophia support. You put work aside in order to help Sophia regain her strength. Okay, we have three choices, and willpower goes up, and my relations with Sophia. My manipulation goes up. Let's have a look at the my skills. Where are they? This is my. So I'm Sean Brante. I'm 18. I'm lowborn. I'm a conspirator, which I like. I haven't had any deaths yet, and that's my true death. Diplomacy is unknown. Your proficiency in the laws of the Empire, as well as your connections and influence among the ruling elite and high society. It affects your ability to negotiate with people of importance, most important for a judge. My father and grandfather wanted me to become a judge. Valor, weak in battle, okay, it's very low. My capabilities as a warrior. My strength in battle and duels. It affects my ability to fight and command troops. Again, important for the judge. Theology, again, very low in neophyte, I suppose. Your proficiency with sacred texts, comprehension of the divine law, and ability to construct and defend your own interpretation of the faith. Most important to the Inquisitor. I'm definitely going to play the game again, and we're going to go the religious route next time. But here, we're Lotless, we are revolutionaries. My eloquence. How well you speak, your ability to instill faith, to guide and to lead people with your speeches. So I'm tongue-tied at the moment. That's a good expression. To be tongue-tied is when you don't know what to say. Maybe you're very nervous, yeah? Maybe you're very nervous about something. You're talking to someone and you're tongue-tied. Manipulation. Look, I'm really good at this, though. I'm a con artist, yeah? I'm a confidence. What do they call it? Confidence trickster. Your ability to influence people by way of deception and trickery and use them to achieve your goals. Most important to the conspirator. So manipulation is good. Scheming, planning stuff. Your talent for inciting riots and plotting murders. Yes. Assault. Yes. And sabotage. Woo! It determines the success of your criminal undertakings. Most important to the conspirator. So scheming, manipulation, and our willpower is pretty strong at the moment, yeah? We're up to prepared for anything. It's my inner strength and readiness for action. You spend it on difficult choices. Okay. We talk about willpower as your kind of inner strength, you know? I don't know. Imagine you are addicted to tobacco, yeah? You're a smoker. And, you know, you want to quit smoking. You want to give up smoking. So that takes willpower. You know, it takes your own, you need to want to do it, you know? All right, so manipulation scheming is good for us, everybody. Manipulation goes up if I mobilize the commoners. Theology, I'm not really interested in that. Willpower, what do you think, anybody? I think mobilize the commoners. Any opinions? What should we choose? Get the lowborn, get the poor peasants, the rabble, the mob, get them ready, get them angry. I'm not going to choose the clergy. Now, I could show support to Sophia, but my willpower is pretty high. So I'm going to go for mobilize the commoners. You spend more time writing a list of people who have not joined the Lotless, but are determined and reliable enough to support the march. Sophia rejects some of the names outright. No, no, no. They must be Manchester United supporters or something like that. Deviants. I don't trust that Moreno. He's friendly with many of the Lotless, but I've never seen him support our cause in a debate. Visors out too. He was in the square during the college siege, but turned away as if he didn't know us. God. She's got a memory, yeah? She has a list, yeah? Come the revolution, man. She has a list. You compose invitations for the march, carefully crafting each individual letter. Some families have lost people. Some have seen people collared and taken to the house of humility. Some have seen friends executed for heresy. Some have been punished for slandering the church and the twins. To slander is like saying bad things, basically, to libel someone, yeah? You know. Each name, each family, each story makes you more horrified by the Inquisition's acts. You realize the extent of Sophia's truth. Our cause is indeed just and fair. You finish only in the small hours of the night. Sophia has barely enough strength left to smile as you say goodnight. God, she's not going to die or something, is she? Maybe I should have helped her recover. Go get some sleep, Brante. There won't be much time for that in the weeks to come. You watch her disappear down the dark streets of Eterna, which is the capital, amazed at how strong she is. A few years ago, she was just an ordinary girl next door. So we're in Eterna, right, which is the capital. Let's have a look. No, where's the map? Yeah, here. So we're in Eterna. This is the capital city of the blessed Arcadian Empire. This ancient and beautiful city was built upon the shores of 3 rivers by the Emperor's own order, Eterna houses, the Imperial College, and the Military Academy, which provide opportunities for commoners to become nobles of the mantle through service and bravery, valor, as well as the Divine Seminary. So a seminary is a religious school where people train to be priests, basically, yeah. Eterna is the place where Arcadian tradition, architecture, and fashion, everybody, have always reigned supreme, but the influx of human nobles and wealthy merchants is slowly changing the way of life in the capital. So here we are from Anizot, yeah, the city of your birth, the capital of the dry, arid, parched province of Magara. It's the largest and most ancient city in the south of the empire, and is home to the Silver Tree, a sacred landmark grown by the twins when they descended to the mortal realm. The old prophecies said that Anizot is where the end of the world will begin, everyone. So you can see there's lots of different places here. There's Archnia, we've got Astinia, where else? Any other big ones? Monia. These seem to be the four big cities. 5, there's one in the middle. Okay, so it's north, south, east. Okay. East, and then west, southwest. Let's crack on. Manipulation at one point. I am a con artist. I am a confidence man. The page turns. It's 11:36. It's the summer. It's the feast of the air. So, for example, in England, right, when the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, when she died, King Prince Charles was the heir. He became king. Yeah, he went from Prince Charles to King Prince Charles. The capital is preparing for a great celebration. The coming of age of Geraldine Tempest, heir to the throne. Okay. Ribbons and flags flutter in the wind. The streets are scrubbed clean, and the scent of flowers fills the air. You, too, set some time aside to join the celebration. It's not often that you can see the ruling family of the empire firsthand. The celebration day comes and it is a buzz, yeah, the hustle and bustle of the city. Yeah, all the people are there, everyone's excited, they're buying food, there's probably stalls selling medieval hot dogs, I don't know, whatever. A festive procession starts in the streets. Students from the college and cadets, trainees from the military academy march in front, lined up in columns, and other citizens follow suit. You join the parade around the tail, the end of the procession, and before long, it reaches the square in front of the Emperor's palace. 1 second, yeah? Okay, so there's a big parade, a procession, there's music, there's bands, the people are really excited. The place is abuzz, we say, you know? The ruling dynasty of Tempests observes the parade from the palace balcony. They are joined by the empire's highest dignitaries and province overseers. For the first time in your life, you see Emperor Uther II with your own eyes there, high up and above. Emperor Uther, I don't know. The columns of college students and academy cadets comes to a halt. It stops at the balcony and salute the Emperor with their mottos. The Emperor raises his hand in a gesture of benevolent greeting. I'd be a good king, wouldn't I? Then his voice echoes across the square. You can hear him easily, even from so far away. I accept your gratitude, my loyal subjects. Take pride as you wield your knowledge and valor in service to the Empire. All who are worthy will be ennobled by the mantle by my grace. Okay, good. I was trying to sound kingly there, yeah? The nobles to be cheer the Emperor's words, but then Archduke Monroe, now we've met him before, everyone, steps onto the balcony and their jubilation gives way to murmurs of discontent. Yeah. Everyone here remembers all too well how the ruler of Monia tried to shut down the college by force. So the college is one place where people can be upwardly socially mobile. You might be a commoner, but if you get accepted into the college, study hard, work hard, and then you can get like a noble job, I think, like being a judge, right? Still, the Archduke is the de facto leader of the Arcanian gentry. He is a force to be reckoned with, even for the Emperor.
Hail, your Emperor, common folk! Be forever obedient and grateful for the good graces you do not deserve by birth.
Good looking fella. But then everyone grows silent. A young, slender Arcanian with a shy smile comes forth. There are whispers in the crowd. That's Prince Derian, heir to the throne, student of Cornelius, promise and hope of the common estate. To the left is his younger brother, Flavius. Ooh, very Roman. He's baffled, he's confused at the sight of the parade below, too young to process what he is seeing. May the twins be kind to you, my future subjects. I promise to repay you in kind and help you prosper in your loyal service to the Empire. Exalted by these words, the nobles to be roar as one. All hail, Prince Derian! Another figure steps into view next to the heir. He is an Arcanian, elegantly dressed, and his mantle bears the Tempest colours. He raises his arms, about to make a speech. I've had a lot of coffee this morning, everybody, so that's why I'm going a bit weird. Long live Prince Derian! Students of the college, cadets of the academy, time and again you have proven yourself to the Empire by word and by deed. Today is a day of great celebration, and in honor of Prince Derian, you must ask the Emperor to guarantee forever the right of distinguished common folk to be ennobled by the mantle. So ask now. The candidates and students freeze in hesitation. They exchange glances, looking at each other, unsure whether to follow the words of the Emperor's own brother. On the balcony high above, Prince Derian also remains still, listening to every reaction from the crowd. Archduke Monrogue briskly steps into view once more. He takes several seconds to observe the crowd before he speaks. He's going to set the army on us again, isn't he? He's going to go like, charge! Imperial subjects, what the Emperor's brother wishes to say is that you must always remember that you owe your status to the Tempest dynasty. The Emperor accepts your gratitude and sends you off with his blessing. You may leave now. He's a bad on that guy. Commotion and murmurs spread over the crowd as some of the nobles to be refused to follow Archduke Monrogue's order. There are shouts heard here and there. The law! We ask for the law! The academy officers and teachers of the college urge them to fall in line and resume the parade, but tension is rising. The crowd slowly grows enraged and unruly. I predict a riot. An Imperial Guard cavalry regiment emerges from the palace. Here we go. So the men on horses, they start slowly advancing on the crowd, hands on their swords, pushing people out of the square. The commoners are now running left and right. You too have to move away. This quickly quells the commotion in the square, and the cavalry withdraws to quell it. It stops the protest. Emperor Uther II appears on the balcony again. Archduke Monrogue stands by his side. The square falls silent at the sight of the sovereign.
My subjects, I can see how overjoyed you are for Prince Derian, but your show of reverence and gratitude was clear enough. Now obey my will. Continue the parade and sing the praises of the Tempest Dynasty that has given you so much.
The square obediently lines up in columns once again. The bout of defiance is in the past now, and they resume the festive parade through the streets. Hooray, everything's okay. Glory to the Emperor who served. Glory to Prince Jerian. Alright. So there we go. Continue. There are days when you receive letters from home. Father's writing is very reserved, because he's furious with me, right? Because I was supposed to become a judge. That was the whole point. And he spent a lot of money for my education. I went to Eternia, but then I have chosen the path of the Lotless, and he isn't too happy about it, let's just say. However, he is my father, so you know. He mostly discusses events and work in Magra and writes very little about the family. It makes me proud that I have managed to teach Stefan how to handle our affairs at home. Your older brother behaves impeccably at the society balls and receptions that we host. Not like you! He has already made several crucial acquaintances. But Gloria has a different opinion of Stefan. She thinks your older brother is taking more and more after grandfather. Oh my god. Granddaddy was a baddie. Stefan is a lot like grandfather. It's in his manners, his posture, his voice. He even dresses just like him. He used to be aloof around me, and we've barely talked in the past. But now he always blames me and tears me apart. I can't take it anymore. He walks all over me all the time and treats me like a housemaid. So Gloria is my sister, okay? But Stefan is my half-brother, because his mother is different, but then my father married another woman, a commoner. So that's why myself and Gloria are commoners. It's a long story. Go back and check it out in previous streams, okay? Mother writes to you. From her letters, you learn that Nathan just barely managed to graduate from school. Now, he's my youngest brother. I have 2 brothers and a sister. I have 3 siblings. He just barely managed to graduate. Okay, so he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, everyone. It makes me sad to admit that Nathan has none of the talents you have. The other day, he told me he won't even try to study in the capital. He says he won't be able to pass the exams. I find solace only in the nights Nathan and I spend together reading the scriptures and our walks to the church by the silver tree. He accompanies me every time. Your sister and younger brother write about Mother too, and they say the same thing about her health. She now spends more time locked away in her bedroom to brood, so it feels like she's depressed, right? Gloria does her best to accompany Mother when she leaves home, and Nathan's letters mention her steps echoing in the halls in the middle of the night. There is one more thing Nathan mentions in his letters. Stefan and Gloria have been fighting very often these days. Stefan always tries to get under Gloria's skin and she answers him in kind. Then Stefan calls her a lowly commoner. Shut up. Alright. You always tremble in excitement each time you see a new letter with the seal of your home province. Your fate is still bound tightly to your families, no matter the distance between you. Okay, yeah, so you choose your friends, not your family. So, Stefan, right. Indifference, we don't really care. Gloria's has gone down again. Oh, okay. And Nathan, I suppose it's because I'm away. Yeah, they're forgetting about me. Okay, it's march time, everybody. This is the morning you have all been preparing for. One of the houses in downtown Eterna is packed with that crowd of people. It's packed. It's really, really busy, yeah? It's crowded. It's chock-a-block. Everybody puts collars on their necks. There are not enough for everyone. So the rest of them cover their necks with scarves and belts and anything else that looks dark against the skin. There are so many faces, even faces you have never seen before. People of all estates have come here today. Okay, well, before we get into the march, let's just do a little bit of saying hello. So anyway, my name is Brian. This is Class A Plus English. I'm an English teacher. I'm playing these games, these story-driven games, to talk about the vocabulary that they use, you know? I think we're at like 100 and something, 190 something subscribers at the moment. Going to try and get up to 200. So if you haven't subscribed already, it would make me really, really happy. Yeah, it would really help the channel. And also, liking, if you're enjoying this stream, please like it. Helps the algorithm gods, yeah, on YouTube. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. What else? Anything interesting? Well, I usually stream on Sunday mornings, Wednesday nights, and Friday nights. Okay, let's get back into it. We're going to march, everyone. People of all estates have come here today. So here are the collars, yeah? Like a slave's collar, but this affects the witches and mages, yeah? They can't use their powers. You flow out onto the street. People keep coming to join the crowd. Even as you start walking, there are shouts in the crowd now. Our cause is just. These words fill you with confidence, help you remain calm and composed. Everyone is smiling. Nice, okay. You march in the front row. The feeling is indescribable. I can't describe the feeling I am experiencing. Change is coming. It's blowing in the wind, everybody. The square is already covered with stacks of firewood for the pyres. Burning, yeah? You see people in collars tied to wooden stakes with inquisitors busy around them. Okay, it's the executions, right? The fiery execution is almost ready to begin. Your path is blocked. Imperial Legion soldiers stand guard on all streets leading to the square. The crowd keeps pushing. There are cries on the streets now. Mages and witches are children of the gods. Give the witches back their lives! Down with the shackles of the locks. Okay, revolution, everybody. Revolution on a Sunday morning. The cries of the Lotless fill St. Ignatius Square. A legionnaire yells, shouts over the mob, and orders you to stand aside before they draw their swords, and then you hear a scream next to you. Ah! We've got them outnumbered. We're going through them, says Sophia. Oh God, here we go. Yeah, she's going yellow. Her voice rings in your head and fills you with fury and faith in victory, and you run. Run straight at a legionnaire's sharp sword. But suddenly a hand catches you and pulls you back. You see Sophia now, her eyes burning with golden light. The ecstatic, furious mob flows around her and towards the unnerved legionnaire. Sophia's face looks inhuman now, her grin predatory. She looks like a certain black cat that lives in my house. So she kind of like manipulated them with some kind of magic, I think, right? So she's kind of got, she was like you said, it was in his head, you know, and then he was going to charge the army, but she held him back. But the mob, the crowd, have charged. So she's using some kind of telepathy or something there to kind of manipulate the crowd. The legionnaire swings his sword at the maddened mob, but he is quickly knocked off his feet to be knocked down. His fellow soldiers guarding the square lock their shields together and draw their swords. There is a look of bewilderment in the Inquisitor's eyes. It seems none of them expected such frenzy. To be bewildered, to be confused. Bewildered. Great album, The Hour of the Bewilder Beast by Badly Drawn Boy. Yeah, really, really nice album, yeah. from the 2000s. Sophia leads the attack. Set the sufferers free. Junius Diamant is on our side. The twins are our shields. The gods. Any idea of a peaceful march is now thrown to the wind. Sophia is about to send the Lotless against the lines of legionnaires. Only seconds, moments are left until they strike. You have to be there in the front lines. I'm not very good at fighting, though. Or will you try to stop her and avoid further bloodshed? There is still time. Or will you execute the plan yourself and free the captives from the funeral pyres on your own? Okay, so we've got some choices here. Begin the assault. Let's have a look. You repeat Sophia's cry and set her plan into action. Valor 1. Eyeless, true death. I'm not sure who Eyeless is. Hold her back. So what does it say? Yeah, you repeat Sophia's cry and set her plan into motion. You do your best to prevent the senseless loss of life. Eyeless's rescue. Eloquence goes up. Manipulation goes up. Ooh, I like this. Free the captive mages on your own. You resolve to rescue the mages on your own. Eyeless is rescued. Scheming goes up. And my relations with Sophia. So I'm going to go for it, guys. I'm going to go for the free the captives, okay? Anybody disagree? Any other opinions? You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick. Okay, we're gonna go solo. The Lotless trample the legionnaires. The Inquisition tries to stop those who make it past the shield-bearing soldiers. Your eyes catch an unguarded opening leading straight to the square. Hang on, my cats go up. Speaking of predatory stares. Your eyes catch an unguarded opening leading to the square. Okay, I see a gap. You run away from Sophia and through the crowd and squeeze through the opening and head for the fires, the pyres. You know, like in the past, they kind of, maybe somebody dies and they would burn the body. That would be a funeral pyre, yeah? If I knew my W.B. Yeats better, there's definitely a W.B. Yeats line with funeral pyres. The Inquisitors are too busy binding the fleeing Lotless with the wondrous power of the younger twin. No one is watching the pyres. You turn over a barrel, flooding the square behind the Inquisitors with tar and set it on fire. They are now trapped with the mob. Okay, I've created a diversion, yeah? I've created something to take their attention away. I've started a fire. They're going to be preoccupied with that. You start acting quickly, cutting the ropes and that bind, that tie the mages to the stakes. An old man with a horrifying facial scar screams when you accidentally cut him, but you have no time to be careful. Their freedom comes first. The last mage you free is a girl with golden hair. She must have been a beauty in the past, but now her body is beaten and bruised and she's frightened and confused like all the other mages. Then suddenly you notice a young woman in an Inquisitor's cassock. In their clothes, right? Sorry. Like a monk or something. You are moments away from assaulting her, until you see that she is helping the girl with the golden hair off the pyre. Did you just hear her apologize? She looks at you next. Thank you, says Jean. You push the freed mages towards the mob, yelling instructions into each ear. They have to scatter, they have to run away from Eterna as fast and far away as possible. The mages mix with the collared crowd. All you can do now is hope they will find a way out. To scatter is like to go in different directions, you know what I mean? To go in different ways and just get the hell out of Dodge and as far away as possible. And yeah, sometimes that works as a plan. Reaching Sophia in this chaos takes an eternity. Oh god, yeah, exaggeration much? You grab her hand, shout that the mages are free, and drag her away from the bloodshed, and then you run together until the screams in the square can no longer be heard. That's far enough, Brante. We need to split up. We're too suspicious. And let's take off these collars. We don't need them anymore. We need to lay low, at least for several days. Don't go back to our house. I get the feeling there's a shakedown coming. A lot of us are going to get arrested, I'm afraid, but it was all worth it. I'm just glad it ended so quickly. Okay, to lay low, right? To lay low means to hide, basically. You know, imagine Class A plus, we organize a bank robbery, okay? So we all plan this bank robbery, and it's like Ocean's 11, you know, we do this perfect heist, and then we would have to lay low for a while afterwards. We have to be very inconspicuous, you know what I mean? We're not going around spending lots of money from the bank robbery. No, we lay low, yeah? And because she feels like there's going to be a shakedown, so that the authorities will have a crackdown. Maybe they will search houses, arrest people, yeah? You nod and turn away, ready to escape, to flee, but before you do, Sophia grabs you by the arm one more time. Was that all you? Did you set them free all by yourself? I nod. Sophia's eyes glow with awe. She is impressed. We've impressed the big G's, everyone. Alright, you find a flop house on a nearby street and rent a dirty cubbyhole of a room, no questions asked. You pay for a few days' stay at once. It's a good thing you kept your money on you today. Then you walk upstairs to the room and collapse onto the bed. Okay, flop house, very American word here. Yeah, we wouldn't really use this in Britain or in Ireland. Flop house would be a very, very cheap room to rent, you know, like very, very cheap place to rent. To flop for the night. Rent a dirty cubbyhole of a room. Cubbyhole meaning it's very, very small. No questions asked, right? So they're not asking for ID. I know you can see it doesn't look like it's not exactly a 5-star hotel, maybe. Teddy, what the hell, okay? Go in or go out, yeah? My cat is doing the cat thing, you know. I open the window and then she walks away, and then I close the window and she's back because she wants to go out. Just being a typical cat. There's no news about the Lotless. It is as though none of it ever happened. You go to St. Ignatius Square only 3 weeks later. The cobblestones are covered with soot, and you see spots of dried blood. In the bushes nearby, you find several broken collars. Okay, so we're hiding out, we're laying low. Our cause is just. Okay, relations with Sophie have gone up. My scheming, I'm dangerous, everybody. I'm a schemer, yeah? I'm plotting and planning, yeah? Alright. The March of the Collars, 1136. The march in defense of the witches ended in chaos and carnage in the streets of Eterna. Chaos and carnage. Carnage, you know, what could you say? Imagine like a bomb goes off and often they will use the word to describe it. Carnage. Carnage after the bomb. Elisa's rescue. Event has happened. Conditions. Elisa's death is prevented. You save the enigmatic singer known as the Golden Voice from an untimely death. I've saved a singer, everyone. I've saved a pop star. It's all worth it. I like this game. I'm 19. Alright, so this game is called The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante, right? So I think there's a clue in the title of the game, you know? But really, everything's going quite well at the moment, I think, yeah? It's 11:37, it's summer, the Overseer of Magara. Is that the Archduke Rogue, whatever he's called? Monroe, yeah, look. Two major events take place while you're busy living your life. Firstly, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the great chancellor of the empire. He has been ousted and sent back to his province. He's been kicked out to be ousted, yeah? He's been removed. He has stepped down. His replacement is, oh god, look, it's the Archduke of Monia, Aelius Monroe, the same Monroe who sought to shut down the college. The most powerful lord in the realm, in the kingdom, finally convinced the emperor that his brother Cornelius was giving too much freedom to the lowborn. So we've got a hardliner, yeah? So we can expect crackdowns. He's a hardliner because he doesn't believe in any change. He thinks the status quo is fine. You can use the church as a hegemony, you know, to keep the common people suffering, as it says, yeah? None of the policies of the empire will be reversed. Many fear that the new great chancellor would destroy the imperial code of laws and other achievements of Cornelius. There are cautious rumors among the people. They say the new great chancellor is going to revoke the right of the common lot to be ennobled by the mantle. What? So there's no kind of social movement, yeah? You cannot be a commoner and you cannot, like, move upwards socially to be ennobled. Secondly, Magara, your homeland, now has a new overseer, Gaius Tempest. I know, a very Roman kind of word there, Gaius' name. The other brother of Emperor Uther II. Usually the overseer of a province is its archduke. After all, it makes sense for the province's most powerful noble to impart the emperor's will to the locals. However, yet now this age-old tradition has been broken, and to no one's surprise, Archduke Tarquinius Milanidas is absolutely furious, yeah? I'm not angry, I'm furious. And I'm not just furious, I'm absolutely furious. Gaius Tempest used to be the main supporter of his brother, former great chancellor Cornelius Tempest. The nobles at the emperor's court say this is a stratagem by the Archnean gentry who want Gaius removed from court affairs along with Cornelius. Okay, so the game is afoot amongst the nobles, right? Either way, Gaius Tempest and Tarquinius Milanidas will be at each other's throats over the province. This does not bode well for their future. To be at someone's throat means like they're arguing. Yeah, the two kids are at each other's throat all day. You know what I mean? It's like they're just kind of arguing and fighting. Yeah, this does not bode well for their future. So the future is not optimistic. It doesn't bode well. Yeah, it's an expression we would say meaning whatever it is going to be negative. You know. You see, I don't know, you see the stock markets at the moment, and you see in the morning the stock markets go down. It doesn't bode well for the world economy. All right. Only one thing is clear. Magara, your home province, is about to face great changes. Where are we at? So, power. What is power? Power is the current balance of power in Magara. So, current balance of power in Magara, who rules? Old nobility, it's gone down. Overseer, it's gone down. Struggle for power, it's gone down. Okay, and then order. Okay, is that peace? Yeah? It's peaceful. Here I'm in my cubbyhole flop house. Weeks, then months pass, and not a word from the Lotless. You have to resort to odd jobs to survive. How much longer will you have to wait? Your hopes of seeing the Lotless return wane more and more with each passing day. You still recall the loss and bloodshed of St. Ignatius Square with pain. What happened to the others? How many of you managed to get away? And more importantly, what happened to Sophia? Okay, let's have a look at this. You have to resort to odd jobs to survive. An odd job is like a small job. You know, maybe you're working in a hotel cleaning the dishes. Maybe you're working in a bar as a barman. Maybe you're delivering packages for Amazon. Kind of that. It's not a career. It's just an odd job, you know. My hopes of seeing the Lotless return wane more and more, decrease to wane with each passing day. So I've heard no news. I don't know what's happening. Days have turned into weeks. Weeks have then changed into months, and still no news about the Lotless. I'm hiding out in my cubbyhole flophouse. More days pass. You hear nothing. You keep returning to the same familiar city streets, glancing at the walls and windows, waiting anxiously for a sign or a familiar face. Then one day you finally see a sign, a yellow towel hanging outside the Widow Meyer's house window. That means tonight. There's a meeting tonight, I suppose. You return to the basement. Only a few people are there. You look into their faces. There are fewer of you now. Some of the Lotless could not bring themselves to come, and others died back in the square. Sophia sits at the opposite end of the room like an actor on stage, her pipe in her hand. A golden ray of sunset has just reached through the basement window to glint in her hair. She likes her pipe, doesn't she? People are sitting at the benches or leaning against the wall. You sit where you normally do, in the front row, almost in the middle. There are voices and there are questions. Why did our meeting stop? Where has Sophia been all this time? What do we do now? Sophia stands up and looks straight at you, a golden light glowing in her eyes. I want to ask you all for one last favor. Please, for your own sake, don't do anything foolish. Don't do anything stupid. Okay, music. The golden light in Sophia's eyes comes alive and flies through the hall, enveloping the others in a viscous warmth. Your eyelids grow heavy, your mind becomes tangled and slow to react. You can barely stand and your legs feel like they're made out of rubber. The witch is using magic, everybody. The people in the front row slump to the floor. There are cries of surprise and confusion from the back rows. Then you hear heavy, stomping steps. Armed knights clad in black armor enter the basement. The Lotless at the door draw their weapons and are killed instantly. A voice full of steel rings round the room. In the name of Emperor Uther II, you are all under arrest. Sounds like we've been drugged here. Your heart is racing, but the rays of sunlight will not release you from this stupor. Sounds like she drugged us somehow, you know? You can do nothing but watch as your united brotherhood perishes, dies. This feels like a nightmare. Some run for the tiny windows, others get down on their knees and surrender immediately. Others stand or sit still unsure what to do. Chaos. Bedlam. Now the question is, has somebody grasped on us? Has somebody snitched on us? How did they know we would be meeting tonight? And why is Sophia drugging everybody with magic before this happens? Is she in on it, everyone? Interesting, interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Your former unity is shattered. People you used to call friends and allies now kneel in submission, and those who do not kneel are quickly cut down. There are screams and flashes of steel, and then a merciless cry, "Surrender or face execution!" Oh boy, what are we going to do? The trap springs to spring a trap on us, yeah? It definitely sounds like a trap. I smell a rat. Sophia is no longer glowing. Her eyelids are red. She tried to maintain her composure, but you can see her lower lip trembling. Your eyes meet, but she looks away. She did it, didn't she? She's the rat, everyone. Sophia, but why? But how? She's the rat. Everything. So a rat in English is like an informant, yeah? Everything ends as quickly as it began. Most of you are arrested. Many are killed. Everyone bound by Sophia's spell. A magic spell is swiftly bound at the wrists and placed against the walls. You know, most of you would rather die fighting, but you would if you were not bound and gagged by magic. They took your choice away from you. Or is that her idea? Like, she knew everybody would kind of resist and everyone would get killed. Is that the idea why she kind of drugged us? So that we would be more kind of compliant, you know, to the soldiers? Interesting. These people are well armed, well trained, but you see no sign of their armor. They are not Legion, nor the Prefecture, nor the Inquisition. Your worst fear has come true. These are soldiers from the secret chancellery. Okay, so this is like secret police, yeah? Your body is bound by magic so strong you cannot even twitch. Twitch, like Twitch, right? You are trapped along with the rest of the Lotless. There is no escape. Your eyes close. You have to muster, you have to get all your willpower to drive slumber away. Do you have enough willpower to break Sophia's spell even for a moment? I think I do. And even if you do, will it help you? Will it help if you resist? Let's have a look. So she's using magic. She's kind of drugging us with this magic here so that we are more compliant. Let's have a look. If I resist her, my relationship goes down, my willpower, but my eloquence and valor, which is what I want, bravery goes up. If I create a distraction, my relationship with Sophie will go up, my scheming will go up, my willpower will go down, but that's alright. Surrender, willpower goes up. So what have we got? It says you accept the inevitable and do not resist arrest. You break free and distract the secret chancellery soldiers in order to give some of the Lotless a chance to escape. Sophie has betrayed you. You urge your brothers to resist her. I'm kind of interested in this one, but I'm thinking maybe she's done this so that we don't all get killed, basically. Yeah? So although it seems like she is the rat, she is the grass, another word for an informer, yeah, grass, also a verb, to grass on someone. I've got willpower, I've got plenty of willpower, so let's go for this. Scheming goes up. You break free and distract the secret police in order to give you some... Yeah, we're going to go for this one, I think. Anybody agree? Anybody disagree? Any opinions? Okay, we're going to go for a distraction. I'm going to turn the camera off for a second because there's something I want to do that I'm not allowed to do on YouTube, okay? You clench your teeth so hard they screech and do your best to stand up. It takes so much strength that you scream, but you finally break free of the spell that binds you, that ties me, and you stand up. Neither Sophia nor the armored mercenaries expected that to happen. You take advantage of the confusion and knock down the secret chancellery knights at the door. Then you run for an oil lamp on the wall and smash it against the floor. A wave of fire spreads quickly. This seems to be my kind of MO, yeah, my modus operandi, yeah, like fire, yeah. I did this back in St. Ignatius Place, or whatever it was called. Several men in black armor lunge at me, and then I am bound again, not by magic, but by heavy stomping boots. You hear screams all around you. Halt! Stop them! Your distraction gave some of the Lotless enough time to break the spell and escape through the door and the small windows. Yay! The leader's commanding voice stops the panic. Let them flee. We'll find them later if we're ordered to. Tie up the rest. They tie you up, tightening the knot around our wrists so hard your fingers turn white and kick you in the gut and stomach again for good measure. Okay, this is not good. Sophia leans over you. She whispers so quietly you can barely hear, and yet every word rings loudly in your mind. You did all you could, Brante. Do not resist them now. This is the only way I can save your life. You're dragged outside and thrown into a windowless wagon along with the other Lotless. Soon the wagon shifts and starts moving. You are being taken somewhere. Okay, so yeah, this doesn't sound very good. Maybe a black site, yeah, a black site, a Guantanamo Bay of the day. Okay, so my relations with Sophie has gone up. Yeah, I'm back in. I hope my the camera's still working. Scheming is good. I'm a ringleader, everybody. I'm a leader. I'm my willpower, no problems, full of power. Attack on the Lotless. The secret society of the Lotless was struck down by the secret chancellery, but many of the conspirators were captured. Where are we at? 11, 12, 17. Uh-oh. It looks like I'm in jail. I'm in prison, yeah? Days are followed by nights. Nights are followed by days. New days. You can only tell because of the light coming in through the tiny window near the ceiling. You have a window? What? You've spent several months in this cramped cell, a prison cell. It's 5 steps long, 2 steps wide. So it's very cramped, it's very small, yeah, very claustrophobic. These walls felt oppressive during your first weeks, but people can get used to anything eventually. So I've been there for months, yeah? They feed you twice a day. They do not answer any questions. They take away the food if you scream too loudly. You think of your family often. How would they react if they heard you were facing execution for being part of an underground movement? Proud? Disgraced? Mother would die from grief. Execution always brings true death, so you cannot come back from the true death, alright? Father's hair would turn white, Gloria would cry, Stefan would rage, and Nathan would become even more isolated. Sophia, how could she do such a thing? She said the Lotless were her family. She insisted so much on freeing the innocent mages, she urged you to support Patriarch Junius and the new faith. Sophia said all that, and then she stood there and watched her fellow Lotless get killed and arrested, their lives lost, years of work undone and destroyed. Right, so I'm having doubts about Sophia, yeah? Driven mad with rage, you punch the wall. Blood splatters from your knuckles. It grows dark again. The lock on the door squeaks. The cell opens. They carry you out by the arms, but you no longer resist. You are sick of this. It's no use anymore. Oh dear. They seat you in the interrogation room. There's a man sitting across you, plain but well-tailored jacket, pale face with chiseled features, thick black mustache, black eyes watching your every move from their deep sockets. When did the secret chancellery first start watching? When did you all become pawns in their game? Pawns, as in from chess, yeah? or the soldiers, the eight kind of soldiers you have in chess, yeah, and we often use this as an expression to be a pawn. You're being manipulated. The nobleman keeps studying with utter disdain. Yeah, he doesn't like me. Even grandfather never looked at you with such scorn. He wears a pendant in the shape of a wheel. His gloved hands rest atop a table with a walking stick leaning against it. Behind him stands Sophia, her head down. There she is, look, snitch. I am Baron Philippe Elfero, advisor to the secret chancellery, but I have a dislike for titles. Call me Sir Philippe. Just call me Sir. That will suffice. That will be okay. I know everything about you, young Brante. Your father and grandfather are loyal servants of the Empire. Your brother is a noble by birth. Where did your life take such a turn? How did you stoop so low? Where did it all go wrong, Sir Brante? The advisor to the secret chancellery shakes his head, presenting you with a clearly false smile of sympathy. You feel like a student in front of a strict teacher, but you will not leave this room with a mere flogging, beating. You, young people, don't even realize what you're doing, openly defying the church and its teachings, openly speaking out against the law. Yeah, young and idealistic, right? And when Junius Diamant gives you the order, you wreak havoc in the capital, assault priests, and free apostate witches sentenced to execution. Isn't that right, Sophia? Well, look, here we go. Yes, Sir Philip, it all happened exactly as you said. You shiver. Hey, Dima, how's it going? Yeah, it's quite cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite cool, this story. I'm going to play this game again because I want to go. I want to go the three routes to be a noble, to be a judge, and to be a theologian, like a priest, um, at a later time. Yes, and we're definitely going to come back to this game. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it as the Lotless. Yeah. You shiver with disbelief. There was no order from Junius Diamant. That is not true. It never happened. Okay, so they're trying to pin it, yeah, on Junius Diamant. They're trying to pin it, meaning they're trying to blame him for the violence, okay? To pin something. And Sophie's agreeing. Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. Yeah, exactly. Now, I know this isn't true, right? I look at Sophia, but she will not look at you. Yeah, she's ashamed. Her eyes are only on Baron Elfero, or Sir Philip, and he looks at you with a fatherly smile and a ruthless gaze. A gaze, he's looking at me. You're trapped. Now his words will be the truth, and nobody will ever believe anything you say. Excuse me for 1 second, everybody. I need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I'm going to be a minute, 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I'm back again. I'll use this. Yeah, so hi, this is Class A plus English. My name is Brian. If you're enjoying the stream, I'm trying to do it for language learners, explaining vocabulary, story-driven games. But, you can be fluent in English. I hope you're enjoying the games. I'm trying to choose interesting games. So please, if you haven't, subscribe. And if you have, thank you very much. And don't forget to like. Also, next week here in Spain, it's Easter, the Easter holiday. So I've got a lot more free time. So I might be doing morning streams. So definitely notifications, yeah, because I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. So it might be like at the last minute. Yeah. Okay, let's jump back into the game. Okay. Philippe says, if only. Okay, insanely replayable. All right, cool. Excellent. Well, I mean, this is what I plan to do, and I plan to go in each direction. Do you know what I mean? To be a priest and to be a noble, etc. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm really, really enjoying this game. I thought it started a bit slowly at the beginning, but no, it's really, really cool. Anyway, let's get back into it. So Sir Philip says, "If only I could be like you, young Brante, a mere boy who thinks he can change the Empire all on his own. But I suppose it's a good thing I'm not that naive. I'm not that innocent. Otherwise, I would be in your shoes right now, and you would be dealing with someone far worse than me." Am I feeling a bit of sympathy here, yeah? Or is this a trick, right? Is he trying to be the good cop, the good cop and the bad cop? I mean, Sophia's lying, but he's saying, oh, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it could be a lot worse. You could be dealing with somebody not as maybe he's playing a trick with us. There are many things in this world that do not sit well with me either, so that I disagree with. But unlike your youthful rebellion, my goals are quite clear. My wish is to save the Empire, to save it from the likes of you, people who reject tradition and the laws given to us by the gods, fools who seek to set the mages free, practitioners of the new faith that is destroying the church from within. So there's a split in the church, right? Even if their leader is a patriarch and an Archnian from an ancient dynasty. Few know my methods, and that is why they are effective. Thanks to Sophia and this secret society of hers, we have already managed to gather all the dangerous insurgents together and summarily deal with them in one fell swoop. The heretic Junius Diamant is next in line. But that is none of your concern. Let us speak of your fate now. So, Sophia, it was all a trick. They created the secret society to bring in the people who disagreed, and then they were able to catch everyone in one go, in one fell swoop, means in one moment, yeah, in one go. So you create the secret society, you have the meeting, all the people who are interested, then you arrest them all, yeah? It's a trap by Sophia. Philippe produces a folder full of notes and puts it on the table in front of you. The folder bears your name. Secret file. Your hands shake as you flip through the pages. How you infiltrated the college during the siege. How you helped recruit more people for the Lotless. The articles that you wrote for the newspaper. The advice you gave Sophia. Your preparations for the March of the Colors. They have me under the thumb, everybody. They have me. They know everything. Your life over the past 3 years is laid down on these pages. Just the records of your presence at the Lotless meetings is enough to sentence you to execution. But that is the least of what you have done over these years. My stomach churns. Yeah, I'm feeling sick. There are hard choices and difficult decisions ahead, so prepare yourself, says Dima. Good stuff, Dima. I'll do my best. You do not expect your father's authority as a judge to save you from this, Brante. He is just a second-generation judge. A brief note from me and you will face true death, and then your father and the rest of your peculiar little family as well. Wow, they're going to execute my family. What say you? Is there a reason I shouldn't just do just that? Oh god, so he's threatening me with execution, like final execution, final death, and also my family. Sir Philip, hi, says Sophia. Crack! He strikes Sophia swiftly and painfully. She doubles over and clutches her stomach, gasping for breath. Slowly, Philippe returns the walking stick to its previous position. His gaze never leaves you, so he's staring at me the whole time. Crack! I don't remember giving you permission to speak. But very well, I grant it now. Speak. Sophia finally catches her breath and leans against the wall. She looks at you for the first time since the interrogation began. Sir Philippe, Brante grew up in Anisot. Like me, he's very bright and has proven himself to be quite capable since his very first days with the Lotless. You will find my description of him in my report. He will serve your cause in Magra well. So, I think they're going to kind of want me to become a turncoat, you know what I mean? To go to the other side, to go to the dark side, yeah? You do not look at Sophia. Her betrayal is the reason you ended up here. But now she's putting herself at risk to save your life. Philip stares you down, his chin resting on his fist. To stare you down, he's eyeballing me. To eyeball, he's not looking away. Kind of like the guy here, as you can see. He's unflinching. Alright. Proved himself, you say? Then how about he proves himself to me as well? There are only two ways out of this room, Brante. One to the gallows. The other makes you my loyal servant. Thank your childhood friends for this mercy. I will give you one chance, and only one, to prove that you are useful to the secret chancellery. I'm listening, oh sweet baby Jesus. Well, I can't outwit him. I don't have enough points, I guess. I can't prove I'm useful. My scheming isn't good, so I can betray, collapse. Oh, Jesus. So I have two choices, everybody. As Dimas said, yeah, hard choices. Here we go, right? So we can betray the Lotless. It's a collapse of the Lotless, or I can reject the chancellery. And it's a true death. I'll die. Yeah, but I can't because it's locked, is it? Can I choose these? I can. Oh, I can. Okay, yeah, sorry, it's unlocked. Okay, I thought they were locked. All right, good. Yeah, right. I can try to outwit him. You convince? Thanks. Yeah, I was going to just like completely betray the Lotless there. You convince the advisor that you will serve him well, but ensure that the remaining Lotless will not get caught. Okay. So I can say, yeah, I'm going to help you. I can prove to Sir Philip you understand his plot and have what it takes to put it in motion. Betray the remaining, reject. No, that's death. That's game over. Don't press that one. Sophie won't like me. So I can outwit him, or we can go for it. Yeah, we can absolutely go for it. Yeah, I see it. Okay, so Dima says outwit him. Okay, we're going to follow Dima's advice here, yeah? We're going to try and outwit him to be smarter than him, to kind of fool him, yeah? Of course I'll help you, but really I don't. Yeah, I convince the advisor that I will serve him well, but ensure the remaining Lotless will not get caught. So I'll do my job, but it's not very well. I completely didn't see that they were unlocked. Yeah, I thought they were closed. Jesus. You pull yourself together and start thinking. Think, Sir Brante. You have to earn your freedom, and for that you must prove that you can be useful to the secret chancellery, the secret police. But you cannot betray the Lotless who are still free. I would say my brother, Nathan. Not Nathan, Stefan. Yeah, he's definitely a leader. And then get him arrested. And so you start talking. You describe everything you have learned over the past 3 years, including your work with the Lotless, your recruitment and propaganda efforts, and the public activities you have hosted. Philip listens carefully. Sir Philip, actually, listens carefully to every word you say. You use your cunning, your intelligence, you're smart. Yes, cunning as a fox, we say in English, you know. A fox is very sneaky, very cunning. It'll sneak its way in and eat all the chickens, yeah? You use your cunning to convince him that the Lotless pose no threat and have no leadership with Sophia and you out of the picture. If you are to be believed, the Lotless were already on the verge, on the edge of disbanding, to disband, to stop existing. Sophia is silent and emotionless as you speak. Nothing in her reacts to your lies. Well then, you're quite self-assured, Brante. So you're trying to tell me your entire secret service society was held together entirely through your efforts? Granted, you talk far better than those half-illiterate street rats. One way or another, the Lotless have outlived their usefulness. I have no use for the rest of those pathetic ragamuffins. Ragamuffin is a great word, yeah? So we quickly look at this, yeah? Ragamuffin. Give me a second. Internet. Hang on. Ragamuffin. Ragamuffin. Let's look for the definition, see if it's here. No, ragamuffin. A ragged, often disreputable person.
Ragamuffin.
Ragamuffin, a poorly clothed, often dirty child, yeah? Ragamuffin. It's an old word. Kind of funny, though, as well, yeah? You'll often see it in reggae, funnily enough, I think. Alright, ragamuffins. So he's going on about the ragamuffins in the street. And I speak better than those pathetic street urchins, those ragamuffins. Okay. Color me impressed. But if you disappoint me, so much the worse for you. Color me impressed is a very kind of modern expression, alright? It's basically saying I'm impressed. But if you disappoint me, so much the worse for you. Now mark my words, listen to me. From this moment on, you are my secret servant. This is your only lot in life, as it were. You will obey me and no one else, and do not think of mentioning the secret chancellery to everyone. Okay, good. I'm in the secret police kind of, what do they call it? Like, you know, if you watch things like The Wire, you know, they call them a CI, don't they? Something, confidential informant, CI, yeah, confidential informant. Like Bubbles in The Wire. You and Sophia will return to Anizot. Tell everyone you earned a small fortune in the capital or made wealthy friends. You're a slippery young man. Just think of something believable, will you? Once you're there, open a print shop. Don't waste too much time on it. This job will be your cover to keep you looking busy in public. My people will pay you visits from time to time and bring you instructions from me. I have big plans for your desert province. Right, so it's going to be a front. I'm going to go back. I'll tell everyone I've made some money in Bitcoin, crypto, and I'm going to open a print shop, and that's my cover. That will look like, oh yeah, I'm gainfully employed. My every instruction must be carried out immediately. If you ever fail or try to fool me, your family will suffer along with you. Here, this should be enough for the print shop. Now, you have something to bring back home. I guess he's giving me some money. With a chuckle, Philippe drops a hefty pouch, a bag, at your feet. It falls like a rock and makes a sound that only gold can make. Before you say anything, he turns around and leaves. Once you are left with Sophia, she finally lets her emotions rise to the surface. So we're taking the money, yeah? We're taking the silver, yeah? Hey, kind of an interesting time to be talking about this. It's Easter, right, with Judas and taking the silver, no? Okay. And we often use that in English, like for an informant, a Judas. It's often a traitor. You often see it in football. Like a player leaves the club and goes to their biggest rivals or something. I'm thinking like Sol Campbell when he went from Spurs to Arsenal. They hate each other, and he went from one team to the other, and they were always calling him a Judas. Okay, we're rich. Don't you dare call me a traitor. Do you think it was easy for me to watch my friends being killed? Nobody would have left the room alive if it wasn't for me. Yes, I bound everyone I could with my spell, my magic, because otherwise you would have died trying to fight back. I hoped I could get everyone out there alive, but I only got you out. I only got you out. I'm not sure about Sophia now, everybody. She's a bit of a snitch. She's saving her own bacon, yeah? She was confessing and informing to save her bacon, is what we say, to save her own skin. It's a good thing you said what you said. Now Philippe will pay no attention to the Lotless. The survivors will continue our work eventually without us. And as for you and me, Philippe has us on his leash now. We're like dogs, everyone. And we'll have to survive like this. We can't run from him. If I don't do what I'm told, he'll have me collared and sent back to the House of Humility to be an obedient, soulless puppet. So they put a collar on witches and it takes away their power, basically, yeah? But we have each other now. We can do this. Don't lose hope. Yeah, grass. A jailer enters the room before you can say anything else. You are led out of the prison and into the yard. You wince at the sight at the light of the sun and the shining pillar. Okay, I haven't been outside for months, yeah? A carriage takes you back to the flop house where you took refuge after the March of the Collars. The driver kindly informs you he has orders to take you back to Anisot in 3 days. You start packing. It all feels like a dream. Everything will happen exactly as Philippe said. You have nowhere to run. If you try to escape, they will find you. If you try to flee, and they will find your family first. In the Blessed Arcane Empire, there is no way to start over with a clean slate. The twins and the secret chancellery. To have a clean slate means I have no kind of background. Okay, my light's gone, everybody, so I'm going to finish it there. My battery just went. So I think that's a good time to leave it. Yeah, we're going to go back to my hometown, Anisot, and we will continue. We will continue the adventure. We've taken the gold from the secret police. We've accepted their money. Sophia was trying to save her bacon. She was trying to save her skin by informing on all of us, but it was all a kind of an elaborate plan to capture the kind of dissidents. And yeah, we've taken the money and we have to go back, but we're trying to outwit, to outsmart Sir Philippe, yeah, so that hopefully none of the Lotless will get captured. I'll be back in a few days. Like I said, it's Easter next week, so a lot of my classes I teach online, and a lot of my students are on holiday. So I think I've got like a lot of availability in the morning, and I'm really enjoying this game, So I really want to find out what happens next. Yeah. Thanks for watching again. Yeah, please press like. It really, really helps me if you've enjoyed it. And if you haven't already, subscribe. That really, really helps the channel as well. We're very, very small. Yeah, I'm trying to get up to 200 followers. Yeah, and that will make me really happy. Okay, so take care. Have a great weekend. What's left of it? Yeah, I'm going to go and have some lunch now. It's coming up to 1:45 here in not so sunny Spain. It's a bit cloudy. But take care. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye bye.